Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of an Insight and Analysis. I am your host, Akiva, and I have picked 5 workshop creations that piqued my interest, to say the least. So, let's go ahead and get started. Now, over here, we have an SV, and this is something that piqued my interest for a couple of reasons. So, I really like the use of wings here. And I just went to the full-blown Akiva thing. Anyways, I really like the wings, and I like how it's shaped. It looks like an actual plane. Now, most of you are aware that I am not really interested in things that are or look like roleplay as planes. So it should be noted here that I was actually interested in this. Now, this is the Raven by wow, I don't know how to pronounce that name without butchering it. So let's go ahead and take a look here. Hi Exiton. Hi Exiton. Okay, I'll stop with the jokes. They're horrible. And I'm probably butchering your name for the sake of a crummy joke. But anyways, or for I don't know what that is. That's not a joke. That's a anyways. So this is a small vessel, and it is built for, well, vanilla. I know it's built for vanilla because, well, yeah. Just trust me on that. So this thing caught my eye because, well, you have excellent use of wings here. You have the thrusters all put in the proper space, and it's just very, very simple. Now, when you come to these videos, don't expect me to pick out things on the workshop that are fully fleshed out, have tons of views, and have huge followings for the creators. No, that's not what this is about. That's not what the videos are about. This is about promoting creators that are undervalued by the algorithm, the Steam algorithm, and that show potential and do good in very specific areas. Now, those areas can be different for each of the creators. Anyways, I've babbled on about what this thing is. You're probably around here for a while. You've probably seen a couple of these, and if you haven't, well, go ahead and subscribe. Meh, if you believe it, if you believe this video is worth it, and you enjoy my tangents. Anyways, so regular viewers know that I like black. I also like glowies. Well, there aren't many glowies here, but I do like black and dark colors and great shaping. So now, that being said, there are some problems that or not necessarily problems, but places to improve, which is what I'm going to go into. Number one, I highly recommend that you put the manual fire weapons, especially when you're building a vanilla game ship, the manual fire weapons further back. And the reason for this, I mean, you can put some further up front so that they take up damage, like the GATs or whatever. I highly recommend that because when your shields go down, and yes, they will go down in vanilla, you're gonna start taking damage, and you want to stick in the fight as long as possible to be able to get the enemy shields down in certain circumstances. Maybe this isn't. Anyways, it's an opinion. It's something that I recommend. So it's something to think about when you do your builds. Now, another thing to think about is along the same lines, where it's the cockpit is as far back as you can make it because you don't want that taking splash damage from enemy turrets targeting your turrets or your warp drive or whatever. Now, on the internals, I gotta give this person props for spreading their devices out. Now, I'm not really sure. Oh yeah, container extensions. I am really happy for them spreading their devices out, okay? That's not seen in new creators a lot. That's not seen a lot, okay? I also have to give them props for putting these little grates in front of these thrusters to to keep him from taking damage. I like that. Now, aside from that, this is clearly an agility-focused SV where you just go in, take the enemy shields down, and just pop a few turrets, back off, recharge, and it's warp capable. It's basically a warp striker. I like that. But this thing is kind of a chain reaction. Now, I know the things are spread, but I just realized that, yeah, there's cargo extensions between all these devices. It should be fine as long as you don't push it past its intended design, which is take on a few things very, very quickly. Don't take anything non-shielded like drone bases, and use it to explore and get around. I think, again, there's no workshop description on this, so I don't know for 100% certainty here that this is just meant to be a warp striker, as I said before. Basically, use it to go attack some POIs, bring back the loot, maybe do some mining, maybe do some hand mining and bring back the ores. And aside from that, I don't think it's rated for anything above that. Anyways, enough about the Raven. Again, hi Exiton, great work, and keep up the good work. Next, we have the Blade by, let me get my notes here. The Blade SV, this is for Reforged. This is by Osni again. Great to see another way to build Osni. And this thing is a very, very compact SV. Now, I'm gonna go look at the notes real quick while you have a decent view of the SV. Starter Miner Scout level 7. Later a bomber or light fighter. 1000 ammo storage. 1000 harvest storage. Fridge, armor locker, O2 station. All interchangeable. All interactable, are physically accessible. Check for shutters hiding the goods. Intuitive motion sensor for turning off most thrusts while the pilot is walking on or near the ship. Underlighting for coolness, spelled as KEWLNESS. Coolness. I like that. Blade is sharp yet brittle. Don't get hit. Upgrade to steel or more if you want, although you will lose performance. Remove cockpit for upgrade locations. Mini thrusters have placeholder blocks adjacent to them for larger thrusters. Also may have spots behind them to upgrade to large. 6 blocks on the top behind the cockpit are ideal for shield when ready. Replace O2 station with pentaxid tank when ready. Fuel tank partially visible at the front rear cockpit corner as it has an upgrade spot. Rear left shutter hides fuel access and room for more. Can be removed to add more thrust in that spot, in which case physical fuel access will be the gaps in front cockpit corner. Have fun. So basically what this person is saying, and I'm going to get out my multi-tool here because I want to show what they were doing here. And Ep.7 is what that was. So they have made this upgradable, and you've got your upgrade spots in here ready to go. Generator there, one of those RE 1x3 generators, and you have your spaces for these thrusters to be upgraded. And the rest of that information in the description. Very, very small, upgradable, very, very nice design. I especially like the use, excuse me, I gotta put that cockpit back. You can actually upgrade this cockpit, I just realized. You can upgrade this cockpit to the, nice, I like it when they use that particular version of the cockpit. You can upgrade this cockpit to a larger cockpit, as you can see here, to an armored cockpit, which is very nice. And it's got some lights, underlights for coolness. And just very, very simple. Very, very smart build. Love it. So again, this is the Blade SVRE by Osni. Next, we have something that actually it didn't catch my attention in the sense of the screenshot. It caught my attention in the sense of like the advertising shot. It didn't catch my attention. It caught my attention in the description of all things. I'm not kidding. The description caught my attention. The actual workshop description, and I will show you what I mean. Actually, I'm not gonna actually show you what I mean. I'm gonna have you go to the workshop and take a look. So, if I read this off, we'd be here all day. But the reason this caught my attention is because this person, by the way, is the name of Wimpoman. He caught my attention because he did some things with the Steam description that I didn't even know were possible. So, if you want to know what that is, go in there, take a look at the workshop description for this ship. This is the AF-HV08 Coyote Tank Destroyer. Now, I'm going to go ahead and review the ship real quick and touch on the key points in the workshop description. The 8th in my series of armored fighting vehicles, the Coyote Tank Destroyer. The Coyote is a ground combat vehicle intended for use as a anti-tank, anti-armor, for use as anti-tank, anti-armor. Due to the intended role of the Coyote, its equipment is extremely limited. Stats. Okay, that's lore stuff. I'm gonna have you guys read that because that's lore stuff. And they actually took the time to math out the actual block sizes and how much this is, and put it in the description. Okay, so equipment has life support, power. I can't read this because there's just too much here, and it's very, very RP oriented. Anyways, enough gushing about the description. I'm just gonna hit the key points in here. Life support, 102 tank, ventilator, no compartmentalization, cockpit, 4 large generators, 1 small and 3 large fuel tanks. Statistics from the P menu. Shields, yes. 1 railgun, 1 pulse laser, 1 Gatling gun. Defense turrets, 2 Gatling turrets targeting drones, and has taken the time, as with every aspect of this build, to go in and actually set the turret priorities so that the person doesn't have to set them once they spawn it. Thank you. Resource gathering, it's not meant for that. Resource gathering, none. Storage, 2.5 SU ammo container, 1 small cargo box. No production. It's got a power save feature. Alternate points, other ends. Note: any mini fridges on board come turned off by default. These devices have been stored in the custom device group, which is one of the custom device group shortcuts dependent. So it is strongly recommended you to not use the auto group feature. Yes, this person is of the same mind as me. Don't use frickin' auto group. What is auto group? Well, I should probably say that. Okay. Takes time to outline all this stuff. Auto group is this button right here. Don't hit that. Just don't. Now, whenever you spawn something, make sure to hit the save template button. That way, if you do go in and hit the auto group, you can take this ship to station services and say repair to template, and it'll just repair it. And I mean, it won't even repair it. It'll just reset all those groups and all the signals back to what they were for default. So use of these groups, use of these, the group turns these things off and on, so you can turn these on via the device groups. Got power save. He's got the turrets on signals, which is different than what I do. I mean, I used to do this. I used to spread them across the 2 signals, but I'm digressing here. Then you have an open and close for the door, just in case it stays open, or you want to close it from the cockpit, and yeah. It's not on signal logic. Okay. On the internals, it's a very, very smart, simple layout. On the front, there is just a lot of container controllers and then a lot of steel. I like how they have the cockpit further back. It's not behind a turret though, which is worrisome a little bit. The turret's behind, but that's alright. Very, very smart little build. I do see a couple of little things here, like these turrets. The enemies, by default, most of the time, will target turrets, so you're having an enemy target the turret back here, there, or there. But you know what? As long as you use the agility and rely on your shields for the most part, you should be fine. And as long as you don't show your butt to the enemy, it shouldn't be a problem. Let's see here. On the Eternals, you've got the detector here, which is detector right next to the core. Just a reminder, the detector is a targetable device, so it's targetable like thrusters, it's targetable like generators, it's targetable like weapons, but it is considered a manual fire weapon. So yeah, just keep that in mind when you build. I don't think it's a problem because of the way this thing is designed to be built. So as I said, the workshop description caught my eye, but upon further inspection, I was looking at this, and the amount of texture detail on this is absolutely great. I like the use of different colors on the thrusters. Normally they're just left blue. And then you have use of like thin blocks to create secondary shaping and visual, and just to complicate shape, I don't remember the phrase I used for that, but you have these secondary thin blocks here to create sort of like a skirt that mirrors like real tanks, which is very, very cool. And it also provides just that little bit extra protection. And then just color scheme is unique. Normally I don't like brown, but I like this. And then I like how he uses these shapes right here just to cover up that gap there. And then the shaping around the turret itself is absolutely glorious. So, I mean, that's not everything about this tank in the description, but I mean, this thing, I love it. Great work. Just great work. Alright, next we have, yep, done those 3. We have the Battlestar Yacht by Fuji. Now, this one, let's go ahead and go to the Steam Workshop description. Give me a second. Yep, Fuji. Made to last and defend you on your galactic ventures, our Battlestar Yacht is a sight to behold. Quick stats. Designed for vanilla CPU tier 4. Core room space for RE. 12x, 15mm Gatling turrets, 2 artillery cannons, 2 flak turrets, 1 laser turret, 4 laser manual fire cannons, 3 mining lasers, 2 rocket launchers, 2x 320k cargo, 1x 240k material storage, salvage and ore basically, harvester controller, 2x 80k ammo storage. It says crates here, but I'm just going to say storage. Full combat steel hull, generators, fuel, and oxygen storage, T2 shield, a warp, a detector, and other goodies. Now, I have looked at this thing before the video, and this thing is an absolute beast, and is very, very typical of just Fuji's creations. Now, Fuji, if you're watching this, there is something that I need to let you know about. You see how you have that, yeah. You see how you have that, repair block there? That's not gonna work at all. That's not gonna work at all. So, two mistakes you made with that repair block are not only having glass over it, but having it in this, having the edges over here go up above it. When you put down a repair block, you need to have everything as much as possible completely flat around it, like this pad right here. Now, I replaced the repair block with a wireless connection there, but you need to have it completely flat and only. And anyways, I think you get the point there, but it's just a little heads up that anything that's not gonna do any good. Okay, another thing that I really, something that I really like about this is like the hanger door that goes down and then so it's recessed with the ground here. I like that. I think that's pretty cool. And then it just comes up here and it closes like that and it becomes part of the thing there. That's cool. Now, I'm not gonna lie, having the bridge on glass just gives me a little bit like I don't like heights personally, so that just gives me the willies, you know? Yeah. Anyways, it is pretty cool, but it just gives me the willies for whatever reason. Um, so the entrance to the bridge, I clipped through it. I apologize. Is actually an elevator that he uses another glass block just as a ramp to go up. That's pretty cool. And then the actual separation is with a force field. That's cool. So you got some crew for RP. You've got your repair pad here along with a signal floating in the air. Yeah, I see that floating there. I know there wasn't a better place to put that. I'm not gonna give you too much shit for that. It's quite a view from the bridge. I really like the contrast between black, white, and grays, and then how you also accent it with some oranges and the purples. Me, personally, I'm a big fan of purple, but don't need to tell anybody about that, right? No, I'm fine with that. You've got your medical over here just hanging off the ceiling. Thin air. Again. Oh, that's what's going on. It's loading the RE models instead of the vanilla models. Okay. So that's my bad, and it's yeah, that floating stuff. It's my bad for loading this into RE, not instead of vanilla, because the vanilla models you can they actually work with that. Anyways, that's my bad. So those models with like these things will line up perfectly with the constructors and their models, which is really cool. You got the core there, very cool. Got that stuff. You've got your generators surrounded in glass so you can actually see them. You've got an engineering guy roasting in the pink. Hi there. How do you like your radioactive job? No? Okay. No, I'm not hiring. I've already got Gerald. I'm not hiring. Over here, you've got something for the grab generator. That's really cool. I just have to laugh every time I see this gravity generator. So, one thing that really worries me back here is that you have like thrusters that are like not separated by blocks and so they can chain react. But what really worries me even more is the fact that you have your fuel tanks that aren't really separated. See, they're all right next to each other. All the way to oh, excuse me, all the way down to here. Just look at that. Just the line of fuel tanks that aren't separated every 3 or 4 or even 5. And so if one side of those goes, half your fuel storage just goes bye-bye. That scares me. Okay? That really scares me. In here you have your core room, which is really cool. Sorry. And then you have your warp drive, your only means of getting out of the system, in the front. That scares me. Well, I mean, I guess I could do what I did in the old days, which is always carry an extra warp drive in a cargo container and hope I have the ability to just slap it on before I have to get out of the system. Anyways, pretty cool build by Fuji again. Oh, this is brilliant. That's cool. Just using the shaping to create that symbol there, that's really cool. Use the glowies here. Very nice. Fuji, keep up the good work, man. Oh, is that? Oh no, that's a light. I thought that was a detector, but no, that was a light. Anyways, next we have the SL Falcon 2.0. Now, this one is by, let me get the notes here. This one is by, let me just check in game. Please tell me that this isn't, yep, okay. Anyways, this one is by, Striperla? I'm probably butchering that name. I have a knack for butchering people's names. I'm sorry. Anyways, this one again is made for vanilla. I'm making that assumption here. I should probably double check that. Let's go to devices here and to core systems. Nope, this is RE. It just requires some upgrades. I don't understand why you're using whatever. Let's not nitpick yet until we actually get a look at the internals. Anyways, what caught my eye about this one, not gonna lie, is just the mix between the yellow and the black, and then the fact that it's a wedge, which is, as we know, the most efficient shape in Empyrean. Yeah, anyways. Oop, missing texture there. That's alright. So, anyways, this one has a hanger. Why, I don't know. You know, you guys know me and hangers. The game design is, oh, you got your bridge in here. Okay. The game design, well, the way the game works is that in this game, hangers don't help anymore. Some lovely human beings, and yes, I'm saying that with a very, very condescending tone there. Some lovely human beings were using literal, like, CVs that were nothing but a few thrusters, temporary thrusters, to dock large plates of combat steel to their ships and create plate armor on their ships. And then they take off the thrusters and the power on it and everything, and then they just use it to soak up incoming fire. And, well, that wasn't intended. That mechanic wasn't intended to be used that way. So, as a result, the game changed, and anything docked to a CV basically cannot be damaged or targeted by enemy NPCs. So basically it's a non-entity, except that you can see it and you can interact with it in the sense you can look at it. If you're in the same faction, you can look at it and see the P menu. That's the only way you interact with it until it's undocked. And then it can be targeted and shot at after it's undocked. But when it's docked, it's a non-entity. So personally, I don't like hangers. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because when I was looking at this earlier, I was looking at where the warp drive wedge, which is quite clearly a targetable. It's behind the bridge here, but yeah. And I believe this is just made for vanilla. I honestly don't know if this is made for vanilla. I'm looking at the workshop here. There's no description. So my educated guess is it's made for vanilla, and I could be wrong, because some people make the mistake of thinking that you need all these CPU extenders for vanilla, but you only need the last one, such as like 4 advanced. And the reason I believe this is because there's only 4 advanced here instead of 5, which is needed for RE. So I'm making that basis on that, because this doesn't have a workshop description. That, and there are no T2 upgraded turrets involved in here, and there's artillery turrets, which, as most people that play RE1 frequently know, artillery turrets don't really help much because they are lackluster in tracking, and most combat is agility focused. Anyways, I should probably say something positive. Okay, what caught my eye is not only the colors, but it is the turret layout. I really like having the ability to just do the turret layout and the thruster layout like this, where you have the most amount of agility, and you can just move around. And all your turrets can fire. Now, that being said, that's what I like about this ship. On the internals, you've also got this next to fuel tank. You've got a targetable next to fuel tank. So, just a simple block between those would probably fix things, and also spread those out into groups of 3. Okay, it'll save you time, it'll save you effort, and it'll save you from pulling your hair out when the game decides to say, screw you, I'm gonna have this period shoot at you as soon as you warp in, or a Tobera shoot at you as soon as you warp in. Just make sure to have redundancy here. I do like how they have the containers here. They're just built up in the wall around the useful devices. That's really cool. Color scheme, I'm not really thrilled about, but you know what? It's not. I'm not gonna worry about that too much, because different builders have different visions. Now, up here, this is something I noticed. You have a quick bug out. How do you get in there? Oh, from the back. You have a quick bug out seat right here, so you don't have to travel all the way through the ship to get to the bridge. I like that. And again, it is easily accessible, not from that elevator, but from this elevator as well. So you have a quick bug out. Very, very nice build. I want to thank all the authors that, I want to thank all the creators that build on the workshop for submitting your builds. I love looking at these. I often get other ideas on whatever projects I'm working on. I get ideas, it helps me build, and it helps others learn the game. Even if you're a new person, it doesn't mean that your build isn't any more valuable than somebody else's, because you might have a idea of such as like texturing or layout or just how you group a certain amount of things together that is just really, really unique. And I love looking at new builds because I always see something that I'm just like, ooh, cool, I can use that idea. That type of thing. So remember, keep building, have fun, don't be afraid to express yourself. I hope you have a wonderful day. Remember to be kind to your fellow humans. If you're interested in supporting me, I have a Patreon. There'll be a link in the description, if I remember this time. I know, that's horrible. There is also a link to my Discord that also has a link to the Patreon. I have a Buy Me a Coffee. I don't really use it. I like set it up because somebody had requested it, and to be honest, I don't look at much. And it's very, very plain because I haven't had the... I keep forgetting to update it, okay? I'm not a perfect human being. I keep forgetting to update it. Anyways, remember to be kind to your fellow humans. If you like my content and you believe in supporting me and it adds value to you in some way, please consider dropping a comment, hitting that like button, or hit that subscribe button, which does the most good, at least I hear. But you know what? I prefer comments because I like talking with you guys, so I like to promote those more. Anyways, I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye now.